In this lesson, we will be talking about grids. You will be learning about how to use grids as we move into the section on InDesign. But first, I want you to understand the theory of grids and how they can help you achieve professional compositions and layouts. A grid is a system for organizing layout using a series of horizontal and vertical lines. This is a basic grid system. Getting into what a grid is made up of, first is the outer area between the layout and the edge of the page. This is called the margin and helps to create white space around the whole design. The top part of the margin is called the header, where page headers usually get placed. And the bottom part of the margin is called the footer, where page numbers usually go. Next is called the columns. These are how a page is divided evenly in a vertical way to ensure alignment can be achieved and equal spacing. Rows are the equivalent of columns, but instead of vertically, they are divided horizontally. The space in between the columns and rows are called gutters. This is important to avoid design elements mushing up to each other, making designs look unprofessional with no white space in between. Next are the modules, which is the space in between gutters. Some design elements will take up only one of these spaces, whereas other design elements may take up multiple modules, in which case the space it occupies is called the spatial zone. Then there are flow lines, which are the horizontal lines that help guide you in situating design elements, particularly type in a layout from left to right. Now we will go through the primary types of grids you can use to help you place design elements in pleasing layouts. The first type of grid is called manuscript. This is one single block that you will see used often in books and Word documents. It uses one main column and section where the typography or images go from one margin across to the other. Here's an example in a book design. The next type of grid is a column grid. This is where the design uses columns to lay out the design elements. It can be 3 columns, 2 columns, or any amount that makes sense for your layout. You will see this a lot in magazine layouts, like this 3-column design example. The next type of grid is a modular grid, coming from the definition of module, which are the individual sections in between gutters. This example shows very clearly how the content is divided into smaller rectangular modules. The next example is called hierarchical grid layout, and this means starting with the most important elements on the page at the top and laying out the other elements in order of importance. This is used most often in website design. A great grid layout that you can use when you're creating asymmetrical balanced designs is called the rule of thirds. This is where you divide your layout into 3 equal parts. When you divide your page into these 3 equal parts and then place the main focal point, meaning the place you want your viewer to look, in one of those thirds or using one of these white circles as a guide, you will get a more pleasing balance to the eye because it allows the viewer to easily know what to focus on first. You can see how this page is divided into 3 equal parts, and then the rectangle is placed in one of those thirds. So in this case, we want the viewer to look at that green rectangle. Here's an example using this same concept of the rule of thirds in a picture of the barn. There again, you can see the division of the 3 lines breaking the image into thirds. And you can then balance that main focal point with something smaller on the right. For example, adding in this type in the other third section. You can have rule of thirds apply horizontally, as in this example of the barn, or vertically, as in our next example in this very clever poster design that's promoting a food and wine festival. Dividing the poster in thirds vertically, you can see that the designer put the type in the upper third and the silhouette bottles in the lower third opposite each other diagonally. Another example of the rule of thirds is in this magazine layout, where the image takes up 2/3 of the spread and the white background with the type is on the left third and the man is on the right third as that focal point. People are always drawn to people whenever they're in a design. Here's an example of a hot sauce label design. The name Turbo is put in the bottom third of the label with the chili in the top 2/3. A lot of websites use the rule of thirds, like in this homepage banner. The type is in the left third and the imagery is in the right. Then there is the golden ratio, which simply uses a grid based on an exact ratio, which is defined as a comparison of 2 numbers to each other. It was adopted a long time ago as a way to make interesting asymmetrical designs. The ratio is 0.618 to 0.382. So if this whole white and green rectangle was 1 inch wide, then the white square inside would be 0.618 inches wide, and the green rectangle next to it would be 0.382 inches wide, which together equals 1 inch. So if you put some design elements in each corresponding spot, you could get something pleasing to the eye. It's not quite the rule of thirds, but it's another interesting layout. It can also be laid out vertically. You can see how a design could be divided in this way, with the design elements filling those different sections. The golden ratio can be taken a step further where the square and rectangle are duplicated and gradually get smaller, creating these smaller squares. This grid creates this interesting loop that can be seen in nature, such as hurricanes, seashells, and galaxies. The purpose in design is that you can place important elements using the golden ratio proportions and keeping things with high contrast. It is a guide to use. You can see this coffee label design that uses the proportions of the golden ratio nicely. If you were to use the different proportions of the squares in relation to each other as guides for creating content, it would provide pleasing proportions, such as in this logo that uses circles taken from the golden ratio to ensure the design has pleasing proportions. In summary, there are 4 different main grids to choose from, which are manuscript, columns, modular, and hierarchic, and 2 additional grids that can be used as tools to place content within a layout, which are the rule of thirds and the golden ratio. Your next steps are to find 20 examples of grids in designs, determining what type of grid each uses. Feel free to print out designs or use magazines so you can draw on them to become familiar with the different grids. Then you'll be doing sketches of grids in your sketchbook. Now I'm going to have you drawing the different grids so you can get a feel for them yourself. You're first going to be drawing the manuscript grid. Then you're going to draw the columns grid. Then you're going to draw the modular grid, followed by the hierarchical grid. Then you're going to do thirds, where you're going to divide a rectangle into thirds vertically and horizontally. And then the golden ratio, where you're going to put a line in the estimated location where you're creating a square on the left and a rectangle on the right. Next, you'll go on to the section where you will learn how to use InDesign, so you can afterwards use InDesign to create design layouts using all the fundamentals you just learned about. I'll see you there.